Okay, so here we have DHCP. Looks like here's your config here, gigabits using sub interfaces. It's got a 240-bit mask. It's, look at your IPs, make sure they're in the same range. This is the 0 network to 15. This is the 16 network through 31. And then we have our VLANs, default router, DNS. Notice that the second VLAN 200 does not have DNS. So that will possibly affect the performance. So if we go to the PCs, so if you remember, let's pull back this. I'll just go back to, so right here. So remember the process of discover, the offer, request, acknowledge. So that's what we're going to run through. So we'll go to simulation mode. Let's go to VLAN 100 PC. Let's tell it to go ahead and request an IP. And it received one. So let's watch it again. Go back to having no IP. So we can see that it's using no IP address and no client. Notice down here, no IP address, but a destination of 255.255.255. That's your layer 3 broadcast. And we notice here that your destination address for the data link layer 2 is FFFFF. And we're using ports 67 and 68. So let's fast forward, let it go ahead and get its IP. It needs an ARP because let's go back, do it one more time. Let's do this PC. No, we don't want an ARP because it'll delay. So if we look, we did get an IP of 6, and let's go back and compare it to the config. If we look at our config, we excluded up to IP address 1.5. So that would make sense. The next IP would be 6. So we can logically infer that if we do this, we should get IP address number 21. Which VLAN was that? So that's a different VLAN. So notice it got the default gateway of 1.17, which is the sub interface on router 0. It got a different default gateway, and it did not get DNS. So if you look at this PC, you notice that it did get a DNS. So it's hard to, I cannot demonstrate the acknowledgements. So let's go in and see if we can see that. Let's turn it off. So if we look here, let's go to the first request. Once again, it's anticipated no IPs, and it's broadcasting to layer 3. So it's pinging 17. That's the gateway to get the IP address with the ARP. So you can't see it in packet tracer because you can't delay getting a DHCP server. If you delay, then it doesn't get one because of those requests. Remember, it's got to go through this 4-phase. I need an IP, here's your IP, I accept the IP, and then I acknowledge that you can have the IP. So if you delay it, you can see that we can't see any details on packet tracer. So remember, when we do this, it's a layer 3, layer 4 broadcast. And we can see that here. Make sure you remember the port numbers it's using. So that will conclude how we verify in the process of using that 4-phase of offer. I need one, here's your offer, I accept the offer, and then you acknowledge you can have that specific IP. And that'll conclude.